We are live.
We're live.
We're live. And I'm going to move into a better position for the microphone.
Sounds like a good idea.
You're going to do the introduction live?
No, I
No?
don't do that.
You're not going to do the introduction?
I'm going to leave it to you. Amy.
You're going to leave it to me. And there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Have we got another story coming up?
Recently, Russel Brand was on Newsnight. It's a show on the BBC where they talk about things that matter. He was on the Newsnight. Now, a little bit of background on Russel Brand. He used to be a comedian. He's been an actor as well, but now he's taking a more serious approach at life, and he's trying to sort some of the issues out within politics. The biggest thing that he does is he has his own show on YouTube, which essentially explains why news is bullshit and
It's
how
called
it's
The Truth.
It's called The Truth, and it's
Truths.
The Truth.
No, it's supposed to sound like news
News.
and true.
True.
Truths.
Truths. Ha! Nice little mixture of it.
It's fun.
I thought it was more along, when I was hearing him say it, I thought he was saying truce, as in a truce between the people and what's really going on. But no, that makes a better correlation. So he does this show where essentially he takes the mick out of people on the news. He explains why it's bullshit or how things are portrayed worse than they are, so that they can develop fear factors into the common people.
That's what I'm aiming at here. Sorry, let me just say that. That didn't sound nice at all. That's what I'm aiming at here. I cannot talk today, man.
No, you got a problem today.
Ah, man.
You just look like you're massively hungover from yesterday. You're just like...
I'm just tired, bro.
Just tired.
Just tired.
So, he essentially labels how things are portrayed as bullshit, and he's been on Newsnight. He's been on before with Jeremy Paxton. Paxman. I always get his name wrong. And it was quite a heated discussion when he was on with them. The predecessor of Paxman has brought him on.
That's not what that word means.
Predecessor.
Yeah. Paxman is Evan Davis's predecessor. He has succeeded.
Oh, it's the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of general knowledge for the people that are highly illiterate, like myself.
Words and how to use them.
Grammar.
No, syntax.
I'm going too deep there, man. If they're only just figuring out how to use that collection, they won't know what syntax is. He's been assaulted, essentially, on the BBC. He's been brought on, and they've gone through bits of his biography, and most of this...
Sorry, and we don't have this video?
We could have this video,
right,
but it is quite a lengthy video, so I'll tell you what, I'll put a link on it right now. He's been on Newsnight, and essentially this was the BBC getting at Russel Brand, trying to make him out as an idiot, as he doesn't know what he's going on about, and also a bit of a conspiracy nut. They're pulling up things out of his biography while he's talking about some of the changes that he wants to happen within the public sector. They're bringing up things from his book about how he believes that 9/11 was orchestrated by the Bush family. Now, on the actual thing, when he's there pointing this out on the book, he just goes, yeah, I believe that, but it's off fucking point. That's not what we're here to talk about. But that's a small example of some of the things that they've been using to attack him.
First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they attack you, then you win.
In the end, I think he may just win, as long as people see what he's trying to do and not what the BBC are making him out to be.
I think it's a bit difficult because he is, at the end of the day, trying to be John Lennon, and it's a bit cool to be all left and socialisty.
Funny that you say that. He actually had a picture of himself portrayed as Che Guevara on the Newsnight, but with his beautiful hair as always.
Yeah, he used that for a show, right? That's that's something from his comedic career. So that's just fucking an ad hominem built on a straw man. So I don't even know.
Well, some of the things they were talking about, they've blown out of proportion. For example, most of the people within the UK see Nigel Farage, the leader of UKIP, as naturally racist, because let's face it, it's a bit of a racist group.
He knows. Sorry, there was an interview on London's Biggest Conversation, a radio station you would detest, Lou, and basically Farage was interviewed by Nick Ferrari, who is a legend at interview, and basically he ended up eliciting the following response out of Farage. So Nigel, what is the difference between a Bulgarian and a German? Oh, you know what the difference is. You can't tell me you don't know what the difference is. On air. What a twat.
So, he's basically portrayed him as we all see him, he's like, yeah, he may have some valid points about some of the people that are native to the country, also happen to be incredibly white, but he was portraying him across as that racist geezer from UKIP. Now, they put this as a negative connotation, when in actual fact, that's what he is. He might be doing what he believes is for the right reasons, but it doesn't change the fact that he's racist.
Wrong. Nick Griffin was a racist for the sake of being racist. Nick Griffin from the BNP, the man who is so far to the right, the left-hand side of his face has collapsed.
Two-Face.
Right? He is racist for racism's sake. Nigel Farage is one of the most disingenuous men in Westminster, and that is hard to be. That is a noble achievement, to be the most two-faced motherfucker in Parliament. Although he's not in Parliament because they've only got one
have
MP.
A beard either to hide behind.
So he isn't as racist as the BNP. They hate the Poles and the Browns and the blacks and the queers and all that, but that's just because they're old. At the heart of it, Farage and his banking buddies want to leave the EU, and they then pander to racists
in order to get the people within the country to
they want to leave
point.
The EU for financial reasons. They want to leave the EU because of things like the European Union Human Rights Act, which has things to do with like the availability of water and working hours, all this stupid shit. They want to abolish rights for the proletariat like me and you.
So they want to put their own people first, essentially.
No, and, it's not they want to
cut all existence from anyone who isn't part.
It's not put their people first. It's do away with any help for anyone and fuck the people that need it. So
the thing is, though, they already have what they need, essentially. So it is like a fuck you to the people, because although they're saying, all right, we're going to scrap everything, no help for no one, they've already got what they need.
Exactly.
So they won't be affected.
Exactly. That's the point behind it.
All right. Well, on this interview with Russell, they ended up finishing it off as another comedic idiot trying to sell his book through the BBC. Now, through the entire thing, I don't think there's one point where he's like, buy my book. All he said is he wants change. And while the interview's going off...
And also, let's just get some fucking reality here, right? Russel Brand is a Hollywood actor. He does not need to be on fucking Newsnight to sell his book. Every video he makes, everything he puts on the internet where he says 9/11 was an inside job, makes his agent cry, right?
He even said on the thing himself, he said he's not about views, he's not about popularity, he's about change.
He has popularity, he has the money, he was nailing Katy Perry. By the way, what the fuck did they talk about? Right?
I've never wondered that myself.
He is talking
I
about.
imagined it was just an incredibly long distance relationship.
He's talking about socio-economic disparity and like how to take it back for the rising classes, and she's going, "Oh, fucking puppies!"
And fucking bitching about him, how he fucking masturbates to weirdos.
And by the way, that is exactly how Katy Perry sounds before auto-tune. I've been in studios, man. I've heard magic. We just don't have the money for that kind of gear right here.
We could sound like saints if we had the dollar, but we don't. That's why we sound common as fuck.
No, that's because we live in Ashton. The reason that the sound quality is poor is because we're poor.
Still, I think she don't have a bit of a redneck accent underneath all that auto-tune.
I reckon she's Russian.
Russian, all right. So he's being attacked, essentially, going on about how he's trying to sell his book through the BBC. As Aidan just pointed out, he does not need that. He's fucking famous enough. But throughout the entire thing, what's the name of the fella interviewing? Evan Davies or something, is actually reading from the book and constantly pointing throughout all of the interview like, oh, but you've said here in this. And he's like, yeah, fuck the book, mate. Fuck what the book says. I'm here. Think about what I say. And yeah, he was asking.
It is Evan Davies. I was right on that.
Thank you. Thanks for that, little bitch.
I thought I'd just check in the background.
So he said, if you want change that much, why don't you run for office? And you should have seen the cringe in Russell's face at this point. He was like, oh, I can't do that. Because everyone knows, as soon as you have an idea that you want to put into practice, the powers that be won't allow that. Who pays the Prime Minister's wages?
We do.
We do. You're saying there isn't maybe somebody a bit higher up in control of the wage? Because I don't think they'd let the Prime Minister sort out his own bank account, essentially, is what I'm saying. So who controls the wage, essentially, controls what is being said. And if you've got an actual passion to change things and make a better surrounding for your home, you're not going to go into power when as soon as you go in there, you're going to be swayed away from everything that you originally signed on for.
You're close, right?
And I think that's what that face says when you see it.
You're close. It isn't a fact of who pays PM's wages or who pays the wages to the cabinet, because Parliament votes on what Parliament is paid. Yes, I know. It is a fucking stupid idea, but it's a fact. Moving swiftly on. The point is, it isn't the wages, it's the lobbyist. These people represent big money interests. So there's lobbyists for BP, McDonald's, Shell, Exxon, etc. et al. They lavish the wages of PM plus cronies, not pay them. Yeah?
Yeah.
They also promise things like, so for instance, if our local MP is Labour, I can't remember his name at the minute, but say for instance he was in the cabinet and BP came to him and said, if you change the vote you've got on that bill, we'll build the BP Sunshine and Magic Centre in Ashton-under-Lyne.
So there's a lot of influencers.
Yes, and that's how the game is played. It's not to do with
all
raw
about
money,
whose pocket you're in, essentially.
because it isn't about the money for politicians. Politicians in this country get paid like under 100k, right? So
that's not right. No.
Yes, mate. People in Parliament get paid about 80k.
Sorry,
starting.
I'm thinking of someone else, and I'm thinking of a completely different profession. Ignore me.
But they are already the haves. They don't need the 100 grand because they've got their businesses on the side that they're running. The 100 grand could be lost in a night if they needed to do it.
I see. So essentially, from this little piece that I wanted to give to you was, I believe he's being belittled for his views and portrayed as an idiot, so that we, the people, don't listen to him and what he's saying.
Here's a task,
some very good points
for you to do in the post editing. Find who this quote is. I think it's Gandhi, but I'm not going to say it's Gandhi because I'm not sure, and that's not how I roll.
It's not Gandhi yet.
First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they attack you, then you win.